Welcome to the Play Space Live, Thursday night edition. Keith Avalone from Play Games. Sam is, as usual, running the board tonight. We decided to make this a news show after several different options. we had a lot of choices. Thought, well, let's just talk about what's going on because there's a lot going on. I guess first we'll start with a look back at Binge Week Soccer. Thanks for everybody for participating in that. It was a lot of fun. We did run out of play mats midway through the week. Apologies for that. We have reordered a fresh supply and expect them within the next couple of weeks. So if you'd like to get on the wait list, it's happening right now at playclassic.com. Today we released the new Hoops season for Highlight Maker Hoops, the 2021-22 Pro Season cards. And we're off and running with another card set, I guess. It's something we're going to be celebrating in Hartford, our live event, taking the show on the road to Hartford, Connecticut on, just a couple weeks from now, actually, the 15th of October, for Hoops and More. Wanted to, talk briefly about that. We were putting together the plan. It's going to be a kind of a combination event with our History Maker Baseball Fall Classic pre-play to wrap up the season. We have the in-season card set that we released back in August, and we will pre-play the American League and National League Championship Series in Hartford. Normally we do a Game 7 format where, for time constraints, we've played out all our previous Fall Classic pre-plays using the full play game of History Maker Baseball, and it takes 30 to 40 minutes to play a game. So because of time limitations, we have instituted what we call the Game 7 format, where we assume that each of the League Championship Series are going to go 7 games, and we play one game to decide our World Series contestants. We're going to do it differently since we're using Express this year. We'll play out the entire ALCS, and NLCS in Hartford, and we're going to make it kind of a co-op project. Everybody that shows up, we'll put you either at the American League table or the National League table, and we'll play out the entire 7-game series, and then we'll do the same thing for the World Series. That'll be the first part of our Hartford event. And then the second part will be Hoops. We're going to bring the full play Hoops game. Mentioned this on our previous stream. Hartford used to host a few Celtics games each year. It's kind of a tradition. So we thought, since we're in the action of reviving traditions with the in-season card set and the Fall Classic pre-play, let's revive the tradition of basketball in Hartford. So we're going to play the Celtics and the 76ers, and as it turns out, the Celtics and 76ers are actually opening the NBA season like 2 days later on Tuesday the 18th. So we'll be it's kind of a pre-play of its own. So we'll be playing that, and that's going to be also kind of a cooperative thing. We'll let people try the game out, kind of explain how the game's going to work, and we'll play out the game there at the Hampton Inn Hartford Airport, right by Bradley Field. So that's going on in Hartford on the 15th. Please do let us know if you're planning on coming so we can make appropriate arrangements, have enough game materials on hand, and not too much. I spoke with the hotel this afternoon, and they're having a big softball tournament in Hartford on that weekend. She said, "Yeah, it's going to be really busy." And I said, "Really? Well, what's going on?" She said, "Well, we got this big softball tournament going on, so the hotel's going to be packed with softball players." I thought, well, that's kind of in theme, kind of a sports theme, so I think it'll sort of add to the ambiance. Again, that's Saturday the 15th in Hartford. So Hoops, Hartford, History Maker Baseball Express in the in-season. Let's move on to our next card set, which will be the hockey card set. the 2021-22 pro season for Hockey Blast, featuring our world champion Colorado Avalanche. Big thanks to Rob Gallimore for putting together the ratings for this and scouting everything out. He really is a hockey expert extraordinaire. We're going back to our original approach of presenting the cards in an end-of-season format, so we'll be we spent the last few years trying to figure out a good way to deal with traded players, and it seems like there's more trades than ever now, both in basketball and in hockey, particularly in hockey, and it's difficult to decide. Do you want to play? If you want to play with the cards at the beginning of the season, you get a whole. It's almost like a different team. So we decided just to go with one or the other, and we decided to go with the end of season rosters because that's what I think most people want to play. How did the season end? And so that streamlined the set somewhat and allows us to actually reduce the price. We've trimmed the price. Last year's set with our old equipment, with our old outsourced printing, was $49. This year we'll be able to sell the same set for $39. So, and in this day and age, where are you seeing price reductions? Nowhere. It's kind of the opposite. So that will be happening. Our release date is the 10th of October for hockey. And let me give you a quick look at the cards. We've used last year's card design, but we've tweaked it up some. Let me just kind of bring it up so you can see it a little bit closer. Last year, so it's essentially the same design. We've changed a couple things. We made the 21-22 the year font in gold this year for all the teams. We changed the hockey silhouettes so they're a little bit lighter and they're also all gray. Last year we kind of color coordinated them with the different team colors. And other than that, though, with a slight change to the silhouettes and the gold year, everything else is pretty much the same. I'm really pleased with the way they turned out. Just kind of thumbing through there's dowels. Another great thing about this is the perforation works really well with these cards. So you can just snap these, and they come right. They just separate right apart. They kind of snap, and it's a really nice, clean separation. So you'll have no trouble getting these cards apart. We had our issues in the past with our previous provider, but these cards are really stellar, I think. So I'm excited to get those out starting on October 10th. Get that out of the way here, and then once we get the hockey set released, we'll set up our annual Commissioner's Surprise Hockey Blast tournament, where any team can be crowned champion. It's kind of a single elimination. I don't want to say luck of the draw type tournament, but you do the pairings are completely random. We literally put all the team logos in a hat and draw them out randomly. So you could play anybody, and then we just pair off. Teams play off, and if you win, you advance. So it really gives everybody a chance to win the championship. And we'll as in previous years, we'll draw the names out of the hat, and then we'll set up our bracket, and then we'll play our kickoff game. This year, of course, the NHL is now an even number of teams again. 30. In fact, it's a perfect 32 teams. So we're going to eliminate the bye week. In previous tournaments, we've given the two Stanley Cup teams the first week off, the first round bye. But now with 32 teams, everybody's got to play the first round. So we'll draw our names out of the hat, and whoever Colorado draws, we will play that game to kick off the tournament. And then we'll open it up to the community like we always do, where you can claim your favorite team's game and play it and report it. And it's really a fun community project for the last few years. We've really I guess one of the good things about COVID is that it allowed us to do that tournament entirely online, and it works really well. So we'll get that thing rolling once the card set is released and it's in people's hands. But kind of pencil it in. If you've got a favorite hockey team and you want to participate, we'll be making that a community project sometime toward the end of October. Further down the line in terms of card set releases, the 2023 Pro National Golf season our international golf aficionado Christian Reisman from Hamburg, Germany, has once again provided the narrative for the next chapter of Pro National Golf. He, constructs the timeline, constructs the storyline, and the ratings. He does a really wonderful job, and we will introduce that probably mid-November. We can watch the website for a wait list for that. And again, it'll have the cards, and it'll have the bio lines, the season summary. Each golfer will have like a line describing what his latest biographical detail is. Is he aging? Is he up and coming? Is his game getting better? And so on and so forth. That's scheduled for the middle of November. Still wondering what to do about the PGA cards with all the chaos of live golf, and I guess there's another golf organization emerging, so it's kind of chaotic. Once things settle out, we'll figure out what we're going to do about card sets. I really don't want to make 3 different, pro golf card sets. But just to let you know, Pro National Golf is set for mid-November, and normally we do the Pro Season, the PGA cards, in mid-November, but I'm not 100% sure what's going to go on with that right now. Other stuff. The History Maker Baseball XL Game Book. I've gotten a lot of emails about that. People asking when that's going to happen, and why hasn't it happened. We required some upgrades for our printing equipment. We had a bypass tray that needed to be replaced. It's a large. I don't want to get too technical about it, but bottom line is we needed actually 2 pieces of equipment replaced in order to be able to do those XL Game Books. I'm happy to say that Jason Yates, our extraordinaire IT guy. I guess he's like our go-to guy for when anything goes wrong with our equipment. He comes down here and fixes it, and he was in yesterday, and so we are good to go with that. Now it's just a matter of shoehorning the production in with all the other stuff that's going on, but we do anticipate that to happen within the next 2 weeks to make that game book. We really want to make the XL Game Book for baseball available before the baseball season is over, and that is fast approaching. So we're going to expedite it and make it happen sometime in the next couple of weeks, the XL Game Book. Just FYI, the standard game book is 8.5 by 7. The XL Game Book is 8.5 by 11, and is oriented in a portrait style. So that's the latest on the History Maker Baseball Big Book. Let's talk about another thing we get a lot of emails about, and that's Roller Rumble. People have been asking really all year, when's the Roller Rumble update going to happen? And I'm happy to say that and I've been telling people, we're going to have it out before the end of the year. And the year is beginning to run out, so we're under the gun. But we have made some progress, and I'm going to show you some concept art that we have here. Here is the game box. Again, we've reskinned this for Play Now, so it's a smaller game. It's going to be $29 for the game. This is our tentative cover art. We're going to just FYI, this is not the finished art, but it's close. So we're going to add stripes, make these roller derby skaters look more like they're skating for the T-Birds or the Bombers by putting some stripes on their jerseys and color coordinating them. But it's taken from this art is generated from vintage roller derby posters, and so we really like the look, really like the color. We went through several different iterations, and this is the one we really liked best. Now, some of this text is wrong. This is vintage flat track. It's not flat track. It's bank track. We're working with the text and stuff like that, but you get an idea of what it will ultimately look like for the box. The game materials will look like this. This is going to be in. Forgive me for using the old cards. We're going to Is this on the? Yeah, that's good. These are the old roller derby cards. We're going to redo these, but this is all we had for now, just to show you that they'll fit on this on the board. We've got the classic roller derby positions: blocker, pivot, jammer. And then this of course is the jam track here, where if you're familiar with the game, it's exactly the same game as before. We've just redone it, reconfigured it to fit in a Play Now box. And I will say, we went in a number of different directions as to what do we want to do with this game. We knew we wanted to make it a Play Now game. We talked about doing making it a flat track variant, or basically keeping the game as it was, but calling it Flat Track Roller Derby and using modern graphics. I mean, if you have been following along the saga, we wanted to do individual card art with the modern, contemporary Gothic sort of roller derby skaters. Ultimately, though, we decided we would just go retro and keep the 1960s look and feel for the components. And so the game will be a 1960s. Originally, it was going to be a 1960s, 1970s roller derby reskinned as 2022. But we decided game's going to stay the same. Let's go ahead and stick with the retro theme. These are the fast action cards. You'll notice that they're have a cool the roller derby art on the back. And they are larger, which will make a lot of people happy. And they are so. If you have the original game, you'll know that the original game, the cards were double-sided. These will be single-sided cards. We are working on a head-to-head variant where it's similar to what we do with the wrestling game, where you get dealt certain cards and you can play them as you get them. And by having the cards with a standard back, it'll disguise what cards you have. So there'll be single-sided cards. Well, double-sided print, but the game data will be on one side versus the original version, which had double-sided cards. So obviously, this will be two periods rather than just one. So this will be the men, this will be the women, and you'll do this 4 times for a full classic roller derby game. So that is the latest on Roller Rumble, and we should have this ready by the end of October. It's just a matter of reconfiguring the skater cards. Everything else is, I guess we do have to transfer the data to a new rule book InDesign file. So
you also know that the colors are a little bit different on screen.
The color
saturation is off on the game.
So yeah, we remember a couple weeks ago we had some issues with our game cam, and the quote unquote fix was to take away all of our color control. So that's why things look a little differently. We are unable to tweak our color on our second camera. It's a software thing. So that's why the colors that you see on your screen will probably not be exactly what they are in person. But it's really a cool retro motif, and I think people I'm really looking forward to playing it. I'm sure a lot of people will be too. So that will be coming up before the end of October. One other thing is our College Hoops Playdown. The 64 team fictional college project that we did at the convention was such a big hit. We had such a great time with that. Congratulations again to Dan Garlick for winning the whole enchilada with Clark College. So there's 64 teams in this set. It's designed to be a sort of a alternate universe of the NCAA tournament with completely fictional schools, completely fictional players. So in other words, you're going into this, it's like you're turning the TV on, you don't know anything about these teams, but it's, exciting college basketball action. You want to know who's going to win, and you can play this tournament out with Highlight Maker Hoops. It doesn't take that long to play a game. You can play a game in 15 minutes or so. So doing a 64 team tournament is really not that daunting of a task. Talking about maybe 50 games or so, something like that, 50, 60 games tops. And so we, at the convention, the cards were simple black and white cards. But we talked about spiffing these cards up and making them, special. So it's kind of add to the experience. We wanted to add team colors. We wanted to add team logos and mascots to each of the teams. And so we've done that. And it was, it was a real test of our creative juices and get them flowing to come up with 64 different names. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have a big reveal next week on the stream. Next Thursday we'll show you all 64 teams and all 64 color palettes. But I thought we'd whet your appetite a little bit by showing you some of them. And I think what I'll do is I've got one card from each team here in this pile. Is that close enough, you think?
Yeah, that's probably close enough.
All right.
You want to come close?
Whatever. Now this is a proof run, so there are some typographical things that we need to filter through. I think you're going to see a couple of hashtags where there should be underlines, and I think there's some crazy characters for some diacritical marks and stuff like that. But you get the idea. And let's go ahead and let's see. There's 64 teams. Let's review. How many should we reveal? 8 of them?
Yeah.
What's a good
let's
number?
do
8? So that means we will
10 teams. Do 10 teams.
10 teams. So we'll do every 6th card. I'm going to deal out 6 cards, and the 7th one, or the 6th one, I'll turn up and show you what team it is. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's the 6th. It is okay. It's Chico State, the Peelers. What a good one to start with. We did use some lighthearted names. They're not all lighthearted like that, but we did have a couple. There's a couple teams in here that's like, because that's sort of the trend where some colleges take athletics pretty lightheartedly, and so these guys are the Peelers.
You can hold it up a little bit, and maybe not. Yeah, that's
Chico State. There's Clint Darius, the Chico State player. All right, so that's one. Let's leave him out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our next reveal is the Tikis, the Honolulu U Tikis. Jacob LaRue. All right. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the Horizon State Honor. Joseph Bumlo. All right, they're in the southern region. We changed it. We were going to go divisions. We went with regions instead. So these all say division, but they will say region instead. There's Horizon State. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, that's the 6th. Okay, the New Mexico Mountain Wolves is team number 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, there's 6 right there. The Baxter and Hawley Raiders. Baxter and Hawley University. Alan Elias. All right. 1, 2. Oh, nobody saw that. 3, 4, 5. The Mateys, the Maine State Mateys. Samuel Moultrie. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Dukes, University of Davenport. The Davenport Dukes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the Golden Blades from Clark International. That's the team actually that Dan Garlick piloted. We had to go. There actually was a Clark College. We did change some of the names from the convention edition, like Kentucky State. There actually is a Kentucky State, so we changed them to Kentucky Classic. Clark College. There actually is a Clark College, so we changed it to Clark International. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's our last card. Oops. The Erie State Big Mouths. The Big Mouth Bass from Erie State. So there we go. 64 teams. And these are all tournament-worthy teams. There's no scrubby teams in this. There's obviously some teams that are really good, and some teams that are just good. So, but it's designed to be like the... you can put me back on the regular camera, I think. It's designed to be like the NCAA tournament, so there won't be any bad teams. They're all good teams. So that will be coming out again within the next. Do we have a release date? I thought I had a specific release date for that. I think we're aiming for 10/24/22.
That sounds right.
Just before the end of the month. So lots of stuff happening this month. With we're kind of cramming it all into October because the year is quickly running out. So that's some of what's going on here at Play HQ. We were thinking about playing a basketball game to start the kind of kick off the or tip off the basketball season. I was thinking about doing a highlight maker version of Celtics and Sixers, but I think we'll just leave it at this and send you into the weekend with our best wishes and some stuff to think about, and we'll plan on seeing you next week. We'll do the reveal. I tell you what, we'll reveal the teams, all the 64 teams, and then we'll do a game between two of them, or maybe we'll do a couple of games just for fun.
Take a poll for fan favorite teams.
Yeah, maybe do a poll fan favorite teams, and we'll play those two teams against each other and see how they do. So that'll happen next Thursday night. Until then, have an awesome weekend. Appreciate you taking the time to spend part of your Thursday night with us watching tonight. Thanks for being part of our amazing community, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week right here on the Play Space Live.